Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Peak Performers. This is episode number 8. It's all a bunch of BS. Step number 5 of 7 of the Ultimate Success Map: beliefs and belief systems. This is the step that I see most people get derailed at. And in my opinion, it is one of the most important steps of the 7 steps. So many people figure out what they want. They decide that they're going to go for it. They've come up with an effective plan. They've committed to it. And then they just start acting. And then one day they turn around and it's failed. They failed. Something went wrong and they can't figure it out. They had a great plan. They were committed to it. But something, and a lot of times you hear this, sabotaged it. The problem was their psychology was not right. If you look in the description of this podcast, it talks about the tools, the tricks, the tips, the ideas, the psychology around peak performance. It's the psychology that so many people get wrong. Please do not underestimate this area. Yes, the strategy is extremely important, the tools, the techniques that you're going to use, but that's only 20% of it. 80% in my belief is the psychology. So what is a belief or a belief system? A belief is nothing more than a set of references, things that have happened to you or for you in the past that have given you a sense of certainty, absolute certainty that this is the way something is. Sometimes we get it from our parents, friends, co-workers, or just an experience that we've had on our own. It's been repeated time and time again. As a young child, you may have heard money doesn't grow on trees. If you've heard this over and over enough, you may grow up with that belief. Women are, men are. These are all beliefs. Fill in the blanks. The good news is that beliefs are not something that have to stay around forever. Was there a time in your life that you believed something wholeheartedly that you later found out was not true? Remember the Easter Bunny? Remember Santa Claus? How about the Tooth Fairy? In order for a belief or a belief system to affect us, it doesn't have to be true. And that's the real problem. But if we think it's true, it doesn't matter if it is or isn't. It is true. Or it's at least true in our experiences of how it's going to work for us. These belief systems are formed consciously and unconsciously. The conscious ones are a little bit easier to figure out. It's the unconscious ones that really trip us up. I want you to think for a moment of your body, and I want you to think of your body as a machine, which it is. Some of you are doing a better job taking care of this machine than others, but it is a machine. The brain is the computer, and the software are the beliefs and the belief systems. Oh, and by the way, belief systems are nothing more than a group of beliefs that are formed together to create a belief system. So as we go through life, we experience different things. Different stimuli comes in, different data comes in, and our brain, the computer, processes that information. Stimuli comes into our brain, and then the software, the belief systems, decipher what that information means and sends to the body what to do and how to do it. Think about a car, for example. When you step on the accelerator, you're telling that car to move forward. The belief system, the way that it's structured, the software tells the car to move forward. Could you imagine when you hit the accelerator that the brake goes off and you come to a screeching halt? Well, that's what's happening to many of you. You're moving forward and all of a sudden something happens and you think you still have a foot on the accelerator, but you have a software. I don't want to call it a flaw, but you have software that says, no, hold on. I'm not worth this. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. Success at this level isn't me. It's not part of my identity. And all of a sudden, you turn around and you feel like you've sabotaged yourself, and all it is your software running itself. You must uncover what your belief systems are, your underlying software system. How often does Microsoft put out an update, or Apple? They do it all the time. Why? Because the software that was running those systems is no longer applicable. Many of you and including myself, I do this all the time, need a software update. Now back to the car analogy, we'll be driving along, some of us, and the light will come on the dashboard. It says a warning light, check engine. Some, first thing you do, I'm not driving another mile, I'm pulling right into the service station, I'm taking care of this. Others will keep driving and driving and driving until one day the car won't even start or it stops dead on the road. You did not acknowledge the warning lights. And in your businesses and your relationships and your health, there are warning lights going off all the time. But you're wired, or the software that you're running says, I don't need to deal with this right now. I'm okay. This will take care of itself. That light will go off. Sometimes when that light goes off, it's your heart. It's your relationship. It's your job. It's your finances. I love sports cars and I love fast motorcycles. When I see one, I'm immediately drawn to it. Drive a Ferrari. So let's go as fast as we can. Let's open that thing up. That's what it was made for. Others look at it and go, whoa, too much power. I don't know if I can handle this. How does it drive? How does it handle? Me? Jump in and let's go. I also love motocross. I'm 52 years old. Is motocross dangerous? Of course it is. Tearing through the woods doing 60 miles an hour on a motorcycle, jumping in the air. Yeah, but I love it. Some people look at it and go, whoa, because they have a different belief system. My belief system is, there's the motorcycle, there's the jump, let's go do it. So the real question comes down, belief systems, how do I identify them? Well, again, you can sit down and start to try to identify some of these, but most of these belief systems do not show up. We don't even know what they are. We have a blind spot to them in many cases. I highly recommend finding a great coach and mentor that understands belief systems and can help you identify them. Because I'm telling you, when you go through life and you've got everything else in line, you've got a great plan, you've made the decision, you made the commitment, you know exactly what you want, and you are executing every single day, day in, day out, you're doing the work and you're not getting the results, so many times it's about your belief systems. Now, you may have a really bad plan and you may be actually thinking that you're working hard and you are executing, but you aren't. But so many times it's just about this belief system. One of the reasons I created this podcast in the beginning is because people did not understand the importance that belief systems played in the process. And I wanted to make sure that as many people as possible understood this. Find a great coach. Sit down with them and have them help you figure out what your belief systems are. When I was about 39 years old, I was looking in one of those mirrors that not only the one that you look head on, but also has the mirrors on the side, kind of if you were at a department store trying on a suit. It was kind of a hexagon kind of look to it. And it allows you to see your profile. I had not a huge overbite in my opinion, but I knew I had an overbite because every time I bit a sandwich, I had to flip it upside down before I could tear a piece off. So I had a gap between my upper teeth and my lower teeth. But I saw my side profile in this mirror, and I was shocked. I could not believe that the overbite was as big as it was. And I left that experience, and at 40 years old, went out and got braces. And the only reason is I saw something I did not see before. It was a blind spot. I looked in the mirror every single day and never saw it, but it was there. It just needed to be seen from a different angle. And that's what coaching does. It allows you to see things that you don't see. As I've said in the past, the best golfers in the world have coaches. Why? Because they can't see those little nuances to their swing that their coach can. You can't see yourself swing. Question of the day. What are the limiting beliefs that are holding you back from accomplishing everything that you need, want, and desire? Call to action. Schedule time this week, at least 2 hours, in a quiet place where you can sit down and start to figure out what your belief systems are around the most important things in your life. Relationships are, money is, I am, the two most powerful words in the English language. It identifies who we are. On a final note on this, once you've identified a limiting belief, your probably next question is, how do I change that limiting belief? Ask yourself this, is it true? Generally, the first response is, yes, it is true. And then really ask yourself, is it really true? Is this limiting belief really true? And if your answer is still yes, ask the following question. What if it wasn't? What if it wasn't true? What would this mean? What could be possible? Are you holding on to a limiting belief because it serves you or protects you or out of fear? Some clients of mine, the most important thing to them, they want to be in a relationship. But then when you ask them, they have all these limiting beliefs. Well, if you go through life wanting something so bad, but yet you have a limiting belief of what that means, you'll never get it. Because your brain is not here to make you happy. It's here for survival purposes. And if it senses pain, it will not go in that direction. Well, this episode was a little bit longer, but extremely important episode. Thank you for listening. If you've not already subscribed to the show, please head over to iTunes, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating. Please share this episode with family, friends, coworkers, or anyone else that could benefit from the teachings herein. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter. The website is thorconklin.com. If you have any questions, please send them to info@thorconklin.com. Decide to be a peak performer in all that you do. Until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day.